Okay, so this is going to be your practice for, you know, pencils, achromatic shading, okay, and a little bit of drawing. I'm going to put a combination in here. So first thing you're going to do is put your name on this, okay? Achromatic value is shading done with a pencil, all right? You may have heard something called monochromatic, which is one color. So this is achromatic. This is no color. This is just plain old pencil, all right? No, it can, you know, seems kind of boring, but it actually is not, okay? You can get a lot of range. You remember those black and white pictures? All gray, black and white, okay? And you were able to tell like a lot of little, you know, details just with a couple of different colors, okay? Well, no colors, really. All right, so we have this. It says value can be represented by a couple of different ways, okay? So a stepped value, step, 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 all right? What we're going to do is we're going to practice this. So a couple of things when we do this is when creating either value scales, make sure that you have, you know, create the whole range. You want light to dark, shade smooth. You want to make it nice and covered, all right, and good craftsmanship. Now, your hand's going to get messy, so you don't want to smudge everywhere. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of work together to do this, all right? So we're going to first start off by, oh, by the way, you probably want to have like a sharp pencil. Maybe possibly grab one of the handheld sharpeners so you don't have to keep going back and forth. Also, if you somehow have a mechanical pencil for this, you're going to find that it's great for the drawing part, but not so much the shading, all right? Tends to break. Okay, so first one we're going to do is a really deep value. So this value, notice that I'm getting it really dark and deep. All right, I'm going to take that, fill that in. And as we go through, we're going to get lighter and lighter. Okay, notice how nice and deep, okay? I didn't leave any empty spaces. I kept it nice and solid, all right? What you do is do it again. So, do this here, do that there, do it there, all right? Now, when you're done, you're gonna move on. I want you to try to get this a little bit harder. A little darker, a little bit lighter. Now, this is all about pressure. Notice I'm holding my pencil not up and down, okay? No, you want it to side. Nice on the angle, all right? A little lighter, a lighter, a lighter, a lighter. Now, something that you can do is, if you'd like, you can use your fingers. Their fingers are tools. You're like, how can I use my fingers, okay? You can take it and smudge it in a little bit. Fill in those empty spaces. Now, I am going to leave this up to you. Okay, let me put this here. If you want, you can do it again, okay? Or you can skip this one, all right? If it masters this one, grab again with this one, okay? There we go. Now, we're gonna put this into to play, all right? So, we've already drawn these. They're all beautiful, okay? So, what we're gonna do is, let's try this out. We're gonna have this where this one is gonna be a medium. Okay, it's gonna be dark. Fill it in. This one's gonna be very light. Now, right now, my my top one kind of doesn't look that different than my side. I'm gonna take this smooth. So I'm gonna take my eraser and I'm gonna lighten it up. All right, and try again. Your eraser is a great tool. Okay, so we have the lightest, medium, dark. All right. Now, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a shadow. Okay. Now, shadows are great because if you add contrast to them, by the way, yeah, that's a loop. We don't necessarily need to copy exactly what's there. So let's put that nice and dark. Notice contrast between these two. Yep. Even if this dark, this one should be darker. If this one is, I don't know, darker, and for some odd reason this is lighter, you need to put that contrast in there. Okay? All right. So this one, lightest, lighter, well, a little less lighter, darker. Okay? So let's put this as nice and light. A little bit darker. Beautiful. Okay, a little darker. A Last thing we need to do is put in our shadow, and it will make it 3, pretty much 3D. So, yeah, I'm not being so picky. Okay, remember, contrast between the object and the shadow. So making this really dark. Nice and solid. So these are solid, stepped values, all right? And as we can see, it can still make things that are three-dimensional. Okay, so let's go down here. Gradation. Gradation is one of my favorite ones. This is actual real shading. This is where it fades out into the distance, okay? Now, just to let you know, I don't like tornadoes, and they shouldn't be anywhere near my classroom, and this next one definitely is not an opportunity for a tornado, okay? You want to keep your shading about 2 fingers wide, because what happens a lot of time is people start off nice and wide, and they get a little, and then all of a sudden, you get a tornado. Okay, so, nice and dark, and as we continue on, and we get lower and lower, we're getting lighter in our pressure, and it drags it out. Okay, see how this is too close? Let's go in, back up here, and drag it out. This one I want you to do a second one, so you got to repeat this one again, because, that takes a little practice. All right, so gradation, anything like that has rounded areas, anything really long, you'll notice these gradations, okay? So with a circle, one thing that we need to do with circles, all right, is we actually have to go with curved surface. So this one's a little bit tricky, but you can do it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of start off dark and make it lighter, okay? Dark, and go lighter. Dark, a little lighter, okay? Ooh, it's getting a little wild there, okay? Notice my lighter areas over here. I'm going to use my fingers, okay, to actually kind of blend the rest in. Now I got some areas that are a little bit off, so I'm just going to kind of go in and fix them. Okay, so almost we're imagining as if the light is hitting there, okay? If we need to, we can kind of lighten it up there. All right, so my light, or other words, light source, fancy, okay, is from this way. So that means our shadow's over here. And remember, we want contrast, okay? So if you see a contrast, if you see that shadow, now by the way, I know that we're doing objects. This might be, you might want to choose to do a still life with this project. Absolutely fine. You could do a portrait. This would be awesome because you would have shadows on your face, okay? You probably have shadows in your hair. Definitely outside if you're doing a landscape, okay? So you have light and dark areas, okay? There we go. Beautiful. This one, let's apply gradation. Now this one's a little bit longer, so I'm going to start off really light. There we go. Okay. On the sides, yeah, I know I didn't fill it in, so I'm going to go back in and fill it in because you don't want to leave them empty. You want them nice and smooth. Beautiful, right? Okay. So once again, our light source is coming this way. Dark. Oh, let this get lighter. So pretty. I know you're probably asking, going, oh my gosh, how did she do that? Magic. Love magic. Okay. So let's add in our shadows. Probably asking, how does she know where those shadows are? Dude, when you've been doing it this long, you kind of know. Alright, so we're going to fill it in too. Okay? So that's just practicing gradation and stuff value. Alright, so let's flip this over. Alright, so this is all about drawing. Now, a lot of times when I am worrying about drawing, okay, you need to look at every little line. I know, you get kind of boring. You're like, oh, I know how to draw that. I know how to draw a tree. So all of a sudden you're like this, and it looks like broccoli. I'm like, dude, you didn't look at that. You gotta draw what you see, not what you think you see, okay? That means you actually have to stare at it. Draw every little weird line, even if it looks like super strange, okay? So for example, like, let me see if I have anything. Oh, let's do my mouse, okay? I can't really see it that well, but it's okay. All right, so the mouse, all right, it's got all these like weird lines, okay? And, well, here's the thing. When you're drawing it, you have to draw all those lines, and everywhere it kind of, runs into each other. Even like, let's go. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so this one's pretty good. So you see how these lines are? You have to put them all in the spacing that you see. If you see a curved line, you have to put a curved line. If this line looks like it's bending up and down, you have to put it bending down. All these things that I'm talking about, by the way, all these important lines are called contour lines. Contour lines. They're the edges, okay? They're very important, okay? So I would see another contour line here, edge, beautiful, okay? I'd see the little lines here, the edges, contour lines, all right? Look where they're going. Are they going on an angle? Are they meeting up with something? Are they look like they're very close, or does it look like it's kind of far? Don't get overwhelmed by saying, oh my gosh, this is too hard. No, it's just got a lot of contour lines. That's about it, okay? And by the way, a lot of times people are like, oh, I can't do this because it looks like, you know, like if I'm drawing my hand come this way, and you're like, I can't do it. It's coming at me. Well, let's look for the example. Like, just take a deep breath. This looks like it's small. This line, draw it small, okay? The rest is all shading. The shading is what makes things pop out, okay? All right, so cube, square. It says teacher. That's me, okay? I have a box in my 3D cabinet, okay, 3D object, of objects. You're gonna look for these wooden objects. Now, I'm gonna kind of go through a couple of these and give you some tips, and then you're gonna kind of go through these, all right? So, first off, when you're looking at these objects, okay, I'm gonna draw on these. Don't draw these just yet, okay? Wait until I'm done. First off, this is called double drawing. This is a no, okay? This is cute for when you're like 3rd grade and you just learned how to draw the cube. No, you are much older and much better than that. All right, so as I said, draw every little line. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna start off by drawing this. So I'm gonna go down. I see that it goes down. I see this goes across. I see it's on a slight angle. Okay, so I put the slight angle. I put this slight angle there. Cool. I put this line down because I'm looking every little line. Oh, this one goes back. So I got to draw that back. I see that this one paralleled the other. Yep, I know. This looks like quite annoying that you're going every little detail, but you got to. Okay, this looks like it's a small space. It is a small space, so that means I'm going to put my line there. Angled back. All right, angled back. You can't see that, but straight up. All right. Pretty cool, right? And you didn't have to double draw. All you did was worried about every little line. Okay. All right. Couple other little information is sphere. Very cool. A long time ago, when I was in high school, I know that was forever long ago. I learned how to draw a sphere. Very easy. Don't start at the top. Start at the bottom. Okay, pretty close, all right? Another way is get the motion. Go around, 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 around. Either one is absolutely fine with me, okay? A couple other little tidbits, all right? So if you're drawing something like this, notice all the little details, okay? See how this one goes straight, angles up, angles down. So many people were like, oh, it's like this, and it doesn't look right. Yeah, because you didn't look at every little angle. This needs to angle upwards. Upwards. This needs to angle upwards. Upwards, okay? Even if you have one of these, all right? It curves. You have to put that curve, okay? So for here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of go through. You're gonna have one different shape in there, okay? Yes, you need to put the cube and the sphere in there, all right? Now, this is a different shape. This is a different shape. This is, by the way, layered, okay? All these shapes should be different. So what does a layered mean? Yes, draw something built, okay? It's got to be touching. Got to be somehow like, ooh, that would be cool, okay? It's got to be layered, all right? What I would suggest is, you know, get a couple, maybe 2, 3 of these blocks, all right? Maybe share with a couple of friends, and then just rotate them, okay? All right, last thing. Oh, forgot. Okay. By the way, I want you to shade this one. You must shade this one. You must shade this one, okay? You must include on the object and the shadow, okay? So this one, got it? Good. Just the drawing, just the drawing. Awesome. Ta-da! Okay, so we also have a couple of tips over here that I would like to, you know, make sure that you have. If you're doing a still life, I know that this is a lot of still life related things, but it's just good tips, all right? So draw large and make it fit on the page. If it falls off the page, that's fine. You know, this could be anything. This could be a landscape where the tree is really big and the leaves fall off. That is really cool, okay? Still life, by the way, don't put it on the bottom. So if this is the thing, don't cram it right there. Lift it up. Make it be somewhere in the middle. Draw light before you get it right. That means if you draw so heavy like this and you're like, oh no, I need a erase. Okay, notice that I see a ghost. It's there permanent. I can't get rid of that. All right, draw what you see, not what you think you see. That means you actually have to look at it, people. Okay, shading tips, show all range. All ranges, I mean dark and light. Only areas not shaded should be bright white areas. Alright, so I know that long time ago people would be like, oh, I'm gonna draw this apple and I'm gonna have this little area. Don't do that. Okay, that's totally no. Alright? It should just be lighter in that space. That's a sad thing. No, don't do that. Take note of darkness and lightness of color objects. Shade them first. So, what in the world does that mean? Okay, so what that means is if I'm looking at an object, okay, like this. I'm going to turn on my phone so I have a light. Woohoo! All right, see how that yellow looks like it's getting a little darker, okay, getting black, all right? That is shadow. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's what the shading is, all right? Just because it's a color doesn't mean I can't put shading in there. Also, notice how it's white and then yellow. If you want, which honestly, it's kind of what it is, I would shade this whole part of my glue stick a light value because yellow kind of is a light value. And then I would go on and say, okay, now I have the darkness of the shadows, all right? So you're like, well, what does that mean? All right, let me show you. All right, okay. So here, now this is very quick, not very perfect, but very quick. Okay, so I have my, yes, this is awful, but whatever, it's all good. Okay, so this is my glue stick. All right, so put in a couple of those little threads. All right, so those are white. Got it, white. All right, no matter what. I'm going to take this and I'm going to shade this really light because I want to indicate that this has a color. All right, and by the way, if you are like clueless about this, take a picture of something, turn it black and white, and you're going to see that, oh, it's got to actually have value there. Okay, take this darkness and make this a little lighter. See, all of a sudden, it's starting to look like it's, I think, what am I missing? I'm missing this UH. I know, it's not perfect, but it's close. Stick. Okay, see how this area is all white? White. I kind of telling like the viewer, the person who's looking at this is white, okay, because that's your light. But this area, that's got a color to it, but I still shaded it. Okay, colored area, no color, just white. Okay, so we have that. As I said, if you want, take a picture or something, and you know, like change it black and white. You'll be able to see where those light and darkness are put together. All right, so last thing that you're gonna do. What you're gonna do is in the space below, you're gonna choose an object from the 3D object cabinet, okay? Grab a flashlight, and what I want you to do is just turn off the lights real quick, take a picture. You're kind of making up your own little still life. So if I had my phone, okay, I'd be like, oh, that's my still life because I have my spot where my light is. I can see all the shadows and I can see the shadow behind me, okay? Take a picture if you can. All right, then you're gonna draw it. Put it together, all right? So let's say you decide to, I have flowers in there, you can draw that there. I have, let me look, oh my heavens, I have plants, I have building blocks. You can also do this, okay? So that is all of the practice, all right? And just make sure that you go through and you keep it clean, all right? Okay.